I'm Amy Looper, certified trauma and resiliency coach, here to help you improve your performance and understand why the number one reason that you might be feeling stuck in that chronic stress cycle and maybe even feeling anxiety or depression. Have you ever been told, just be a nice girl? Maybe you were younger and had an opinion and that differed from someone like a caregiver or a teacher. And maybe you're even belittled, told, oh, don't think that. Oh, that's not right. Oh, just shush and be a nice girl, right? Maybe you're just told not to talk back. Well, your needs were actually being invalidated in that experience. And when that happens over and over and over, you start to learn that your needs don't matter. And what happens is that you attune to the outside world. Your brain actually starts to do some threat detecting and looking for signs, looking for other people's emotions. You start to attach to their emotions actually to make sure everything is okay because you want to actually keep the peace. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you grew up in a chaotic household. Maybe there's some chaotic relationship things happening. Well, that has huge psychological implications in your life. And oftentimes, high performers have learned to be high achievers for those reasons. They don't even subconsciously, they don't realize what's happening, but they're going for the next achievement to make themselves feel validated. And they prove themselves through doing, through those kind of things. And so, at some point they may reach burnout. And unfortunately, when those of us are high achievers that reach burnout, we often become awakened to the things that have contributed to that over time. And it's not something overnight. This happens over, many, many years. But it does create this kind of behavior, this people pleasing, right? It can even open the door to high performers allowing toxic relationships into their lives, even in adulthood. And it really keep them stuck in a cycle of chronic stress. And so you might be feeling disconnected with your emotions. Maybe, what if I asked you, what do you want in your life? Could you answer that question? I once stood in a room doing some leadership work on myself, and 200 people were asking me that question over and over and over. And I literally just sat there frozen. I felt numb. I couldn't even feel emotion. I wasn't even upset that these people were like asking me this question and this leadership exercise I was doing. Most people would have found that very annoying and even gotten upset or cried. I just sat there. I was like, I don't freaking know what I want. I don't know. I couldn't even feel because I was so connected to my outside world. I didn't even know that was happening to me until I suffered with years of depression and anxiety. The anxiety fueled high performance in a sales career that I had. So, why does this happen to us, right? How can we feel so disconnected, not know what we want, but still achieve and all of that? Well, on the biological level, what's happening is your nervous system has adapted. It's adapted to survival. It's not thriving, even though it looks like you might be thriving, like you might have the house and the cars and the salaries and the business. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you grow a business. But, as a kid or now the professional being invalidated through toxicity around you, maybe you're around folks that are gaslighting you still. Maybe someone still is belittling you or blame shifting on you, and you're just like, something's not right. Your body is starting to tell you that. Maybe you don't even consciously know that yet, but your body is giving you signs. Maybe you're having health issues. Maybe you're having chronic stress related health issues, inflammation, hormonal imbalances, anxiety attacks. Well, your body attunes to the outside world in that survival state. Why does it do that? Well, it does that to avoid those feelings, those deeper feelings of, shame and guilt, right? You were shamed and guilted as a little kid for having an opinion that wasn't that of your caregivers, right? So it's all rooted in fear. And that's why we don't really know anything but to work hard because we fear being joyful. We fear having freedom. We fear everything because we've been invalidated, right? That's why you haven't been in flow. That's why you haven't been in flow. There's not enough yoga classes to get you there until you go through the progress of just knowing where this stuff is coming from so that you can recognize it, because it's much more than just going to the gym and working out. It's much more than just, journaling about how you feel. All of those modalities are good, by the way, and I incorporate them into my practices with my clients to help them relieve stress and figure out their emotions and things like that. But you have to do the deeper work. So it's been conditioned to you that life has to be hard. Does that ring true to you? Has it been conditioned to you to perform well? And maybe you perform really well in stressful circumstances. Maybe you actually feel like you're thriving, even in toxic situations. You're like, difficult people don't bother me. I'm good. But really, what's happening is you're just disassociating. Your body is filled with great intelligence now, so that if you're feeling burned out, I want you to take that as really the alarm going off in your body, okay? If you have gone through anything like an anxiety attack, or you're just feeling like, gosh, therapy is not getting me anywhere. Well, it's because your body hasn't been able to somatically really process this stuff, and you're going to have to work on some behavior changes yourself. So I have good news. You can eliminate the cycle. And it's going to require you to face that reality of what's really going on beneath that surface level of your smiley LinkedIn picture, right? We all want to say everything is great, but internally, with some of the highest performers I've ever worked with, and in my own experience, doing things that have been very rooted in high achievement, sometimes behind the scenes, internally, in your heart, in you, something is off. Sometimes our lives are not always filled with joy, peace, and freedom, are they? And so if that's not your experience right now, that's okay. You're in the right place. I invite you to download a training actually that I have right below this video called the Breadwinner Burnout. And this training is where I go in more depth about how to break the cycle for good, and how to really live your life in a totally different way. It doesn't have to be so attached to third-party validation or achievement, or the title that you have, the job you have, the salary you're making, the neighborhood you live in, none of that. Because really, life is too short to waste it. You just need to get back into center of what you really want and get to know yourself again. It's all there. We just need to bring it out. And life is also too short to waste it on anything toxic. So if you're dealing with in a toxic relationship, maybe a toxic boss, maybe a toxic work environment, maybe it's the industry or the company or whatever it is, I want you to click below in this video where you can access this free training for yourself, because I'm telling you, these things not only helped me break through burnout, it helped me heal from an emotionally abusive relationship, one of the most precious relationships in my life, but I was able to detach from the toxicity that was pulling my health down to such great degrees. I could barely get out of bed in the morning and walk across my house to the patio. It got that bad. I was crying all the time. My kids were like, whoa, where's my mom? It wasn't good. And so I want you to not live that way, but I know some of you are in that place. And if you are, it's not your fault, but you can break through big things like hormonal imbalances, inflammation, and all the stress responses that come up when something in your life is off. So I salute you for doing the work, for watching this video, and I hope you do click the link on the free training that I have on Breadwinner Burnout, because it's going to give you some more clues to your journey of really healing and really getting to your next level of greatness. It's your next level of potential outside of the things that you've just been conditioned subconsciously to operate at. So welcome to your awakening. I can't wait to see you in the next video, and please reach out with any questions.